Where's Rose?
It's market day today. Well, you been out walking around looking at your new neighborhood?
No, as a matter of fact, I took the bus out to see Sarah.
Did you?
Yes, I found out you'd been out there earlier. You knew I was going up to Forest Hill, so why didn't you offer me a ride?
It was an emergency visit, very early.
Emergency?
Mm-hmm. Dr. Nelson called me early this morning, told me that Sarah was in hysterics wanting to talk to me.
To you? Only you?
That's what the doctor said.
That seems strange. I was out to see Sarah, and she seemed fine to me. What did she want to talk to you about?
About a gun.
Now, what's in this one?
I don't know, Dan. What's the number on the outside?
It says 21B, I think. What does that mean?
I don't think we have a 21B, but I'll check for you. No, Dan. Are you sure that's the number?
Well, it's been scratched out, but I don't see any other numbers on it.
Okay, well, looks like we take pot luck on this one.
Oh, this whole auction is pot luck. What a time for Leslie to take Lila to tea.
Dan, don't get upset. Now, come on, we're going to get the whole thing straightened out.
Bobby, I am responsible for every art donation being brought over here from the police department. What if something gets lost? Who do you think they're going to blame?
But I think that was the last load that's coming over.
We haven't even scratched the surface. That police van has got to make a lot of trips to get the stuff moved over here.
Oh, it's going to be a dandy day. I can see
Oh, yes, just dandy. Maybe I ought to hide in that mummy case that Luke donated.
Really something, isn't it?
Yeah. I didn't know he was into Egyptology.
Oh, well, you know, Luke, he's always into something, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, you know, you don't usually get those at your neighborhood store.
Oh, yeah, well, Luke wanted to do his share to help us out with the auction.
Yeah, well, I'd say he's doing more than a share. That ought to bring a good price.
Oh, for dear old General Hospital. Hey, fellas, excuse me, what are you doing?
Mrs. Quartermain said she wants this mummy case displayed up here at the front.
Why?
She said she fell in love with it. Wanted to show it off.
Okay, well, hold on a minute, okay, and don't move anything. I gotta call the donor.
Bobby, what's the problem? They can move it all right if Lila wants to show it off.
No, Dan, I have a very good reason. Luke was very emphatic about the fact that he wants the mummy case right there so that it doesn't get damaged, and Luke meant it. Well, Luke?
We're all set.
Oh, have they unpacked the Ice Princess yet? Have you seen it?
No, sir, but don't sweat it. We've got everything under control now.
All right, of course, as long as you don't consider Scorpio and Cassidyne's men.
I've considered them, Alex, and they haven't got a chance. There are cops all over that place. The whole joint is crawling with cops. Anybody would be a fool to try and rip anything off with all that heat there.
Yeah, well, the only heat I feel at this particular moment is in the pit of my stomach.
Well, now, Edward, if Luke says he's on top of things, and that's the way it is, we're just going to have to trust him. Yes? Yes, just a minute. It's your sister.
Bobby? The black statue arrived yet?
No, not yet, but we got problems.
What's wrong?
They want to move your mummy.
Move it? Why?
Because Lila Quartermain flipped out over it, and she wants to put it up front where everybody can see it.
No chance. Don't let him do it. It stays right where it is, or else.
Okay, well, what do you want me to tell the guys who want to move it?
Tell them it's worth thousands of bucks, and I don't want it damaged, or I'm going to take it back. It's leaning against the wall, and that's exactly where it's going to stay.
I'll try, Luke, but I don't know if they're going to believe it.
Oh, you can make them believe you, baby sister. It's very important. Can you dig it?
I hear you. Over and out.
All right. What the hell are they doing down there?
Well, Luke, I'm afraid to ask, but are we still in control of everything?
Yeah, everything. Except your charming wife.
Did you hear what I said?
You mean about what Sarah said about a gun?
You did hear.
Yeah, I heard. Why?
I don't know. I guess maybe I was just looking for some sort of reaction.
I think the subject's pretty boring myself.
Really? I've never found guns boring, but I guess you can't alter other people's opinions, can you?
Well, she always has those hallucinations when she goes under heavy sedations.
You think she's talked about guns before?
Of course. You see, she imagines that her friend Edie was killed by a gun. The truth is that Her friend drowned while Sarah stood by and watched and didn't help her. It's very sad. Sarah has this terrible fixation with her friend's death.
Well, that sounds like kind of a stretch to me to try to substitute death by gunfire for death by drowning.
No, not really. It's not unusual. Dr. Nelson explained it to me. You see, it's very hard living under the strain of feeling you're responsible for someone else's death. Some people can't live with that truth. So they make up stories. That's why Sarah has come up with this concoction about a gun.
I find it kind of hard to believe that just that dream and that idea can make Sarah feel better about her friend's death.
Sure it does. I mean, that way, Sarah can ease her conscience. I mean, I even remember one day when she was fantasizing about it. She kept talking about how this gun had accidentally been triggered off and shot her friend. Well, she's totally blocked out the fact that she was involved with it at all. That she stood by and watched her friend drown without helping her.
You've really learned a lot through therapy, haven't you, Heather?
Well, I have had to learn to take a good look at my weaknesses. And I think it's probably helped me to understand them. The problems that Sarah has.
Look at your weaknesses. That's certainly facing things head on.
Well, I have to face up to things, Joe. I mean, I even feel guilty about Diana Taylor's death.
Guilty. Interesting choice of words.
Well, all I meant was that I did want Diana Taylor dead at one time when I tried to give her that LSD.
Yeah, you didn't have too much charity in your heart for Diana, did you?
Well, right now I just want to get my life together, Joe. I want to be a good and complete person now.
Sounds like a terrific ambition.
I just hope that other people will be able to forgive me. Will you forgive me, Joe?
I'm working on it.
Do you think Ann Logan can forgive me?
And what does Ann Logan have to do with this?
Well, she and Diana Taylor were good friends, weren't they?
Ann Logan, main desk. Oh, Ann, this is Lila Quartermain. Listen, dear, will you be a good girl and leave a message for Steve Hardy for me?
Oh, I'd be happy to.
Please thank him for the lovely shopping bags that he donated to the auction.
Okay.
And, tell him I'm having a problem about the mummy case.
The mummy case?
And Luke's very insistent about where it should be displayed, and frankly, I think it's not at all in the right location.
Yes, Mrs. Quartermain, I'll make sure that he gets the message. Don't tell me, I don't think I want to know.
I don't think I want to explain it.
Yes, we're going to be down in the Cat 3. Well, your timing is perfect.
Oh?
Yes, you just missed a call from Lila Quartermain. Yes, Mrs. Quartermain wants you to know that she's very thankful for the shopping bags that you donated.
Shopping bags? What shopping bags?
Well, don't ask me. I haven't the faintest idea what she's talking
Well,
about.
that's not all. No, she also wants you to know that she is very disturbed about the mummy case.
The what?
The mummy case. That is Luke Spencer's donation.
A mummy case?
Yes. Mrs. Quartermain is a little disturbed because Luke is very insistent about where he would like to put the mummy case, and Mrs. Quartermain does not approve of his choice of his location. That's about all I have to offer to you.
Well, I'd say that was quite enough.
Well, I don't know much about this mummy case business, but Luke Spencer should never tangle with Lila Quartermain if he knows what's good for him. She's a one-woman calamity. No question about it.
See you later.
Anything that we can do about Aunt Lila?
Oh, yeah, we could tie her up and hide her in the basement.
Yes.
Alex, this is your Aunt Lila.
Lila, we were just talking about you.
Oh, how nice. Oh, but I really must speak to Edward immediately, please.
Well, I'll put him right on. I'm sure he wants to speak with you, too.
Lila, what in blazes is going on down there at that auction hall?
Well, dear, it's this mummy case that Luke Spencer donated.
What's she talking about, Luke? A mummy case?
Yes, tell her it has to stay exactly where I placed it, leaning against the wall.
Mummy case against the wall. Oh, this is madness. Lila, I have discussed this in some detail with Luke, and he tells me that the mummy case must remain exactly where he placed it.
But that's an absurd idea, Edward. I mean, hardly anyone will even notice it's there. If it stays there, it looks like the Leaning Tower of Pisa standing propped up against a wall.
Yes, darling, be that as it may, but it's very fragile.
It needs support.
It needs support.
No excessive handling.
Oh, and no excessive handling.
Oh, but Edward, this is ridiculous. I mean, if we're going to auction it off, it'll have to be moved sooner or later.
Well, then it's just going to have to be later. And I'm coming down there right now to make sure that Luke's orders are carried out.
Well, it looks like you've saved the day.
Yeah, well, only if I can keep her from changing her mind, which she seems to do just about every 10 minutes.
I have one more item to discuss, sir. I want one little detail cleared up right now.
Yeah? What detail?
When I conclude the job and you give me the bonus, I want it in cash.
Cash? Are you serious? We don't keep that amount of money around this office.
You keep it around the bank.
Well, I must say I'm offended, Luke. It almost seems like you don't trust us.
Well, sir, let's call it my basic rotten instincts, but I'm sorry. I just can't forget there was a day when the two of you were not honest with me.
All right, Luke, you have it your way. Alex, you call the bank and arrange to have the money in the cash. Meanwhile, I'm going down to that auction hall and make sure that nothing else happens to disrupt our plans.
All right, I'll do it if that's the way it has to be.
Oh, you're all hard, Alex.
Luke, you bring us that ice princess, we'll erect a statue in your honor, if you like. Good luck.
Well, you certainly managed to take control of everything.
That's what you're paying me for.
Oh, I'll keep my side of the bargain. You just make sure you keep yours.
I definitely will. Now, where are we going to meet when I give you the statue and you give me my money?
It certainly can't be here. There is a, empty warehouse down at a dock. I think it'll be safe.
I know this place. That'll be fine. We can handle it there with no hassle.
Yes. Oh, just a minute. I'll put him on. It's your sister again.
Great. Bobby, the black statue get there yet?
No, it hasn't, but that phone call from Edward Quartermain must have worked.
Because Lila was determined to move that mummy, and she suddenly changed her mind, so I guess Edward got tough with her.
Uh-huh. Well, male chauvinism is not dead, just seriously injured. Speaking of injured chauvinism, is Scorpio around?
No, I haven't seen him. Why? What do you want me to do when I do?
If you see him, I want you to keep him busy and distracted, if you know what I mean. Very busy and very distracted.
This'll be a cakewalk, Sonny. I mean, Luke Spencer isn't all that tough. From what I saw in the Versailles room, he's just a lovesick puppy, that's all.
Trust me, O'Reilly, that puppy can have a very nasty bite.
Oh, that must be Dobson.
Mr. Scorpio, O'Reilly told me to be here.
Come in, we've been expecting you.
How's it going?
Just standing by, O'Reilly.
Okay, ladies, let's get down to business. We've finalized our plan. Now let's go over it one more time.
Good, I'd like that.
Okay, now, 5 items before the Ice Princess comes up for auction. You will proceed to the cashier's box, relieve who is ever on duty, and stand by and wait for my next move.
Mm-hmm. Which is?
Okay, I will then purchase some item or object. It's not particularly important what.
But it still has to be the same size, or at least close to the Ice Princess, Sonny.
Absolutely, O'Reilly. Now, after I've purchased this item or object of similar size, 2, maybe 3 items before the Ice Princess comes up for auction, I will then move to the cashier's box. Now, anybody purchasing the Ice Princess has got to go to the cashier. In this case, you, Miss Dobson. Now, you will wrap the Ice Princess, place it in one of these bags, and exchange it with my purchase. Understand?
Perfectly.
Like I said, she's sharp. Don't have to worry about Dobson.